The Children Who Came from Nowhere, the Green Mystery of 12th century England. In the 12th century, in a quiet corner of rural England, two children appeared out of nowhere. They were not injured, they were not crying, but their skin was green. This is one of the strangest medieval accounts ever recorded, a story preserved not in folklore alone, but in the writings of respected chroniclers. And tonight, on Shadows of History, we step into the fields of medieval Suffolk to uncover the mystery of the Green Children of Woolpit. England, 12th century. The year was likely between 1150 and 1170. England was under the reign of King Stephen, or possibly early in the rule of Henry II. It was a time of feudal loyalties, stone churches rising from wooden villages, and a population deeply bound to the rhythms of harvest and hunger. The village of Woolpit in Suffolk was small and agricultural. Its name came from wolf pits, deep traps dug into the earth to catch predators that threatened livestock. Life here was hard. Peasants wore rough wool tunics dyed in muted browns and grays. Most were barefoot in summer, wrapped in simple leather shoes in winter. Faces were weathered early by wind and labor. Survival depended entirely on crops, and famine was never far away. It was during harvest season, according to later accounts, that something extraordinary happened. The discovery. Field workers were tending crops near one of the old wolf pits. The sun was high, the soil dry, the air still. From inside one of the pits came a faint sound, not an animal's growl, not the cry of a wolf. Children. When villagers peered into the pit, they saw two small figures huddled together, a boy and a girl, perhaps around 7 and 9 years old. Their clothing was strange, unfamiliar in cut and color, made of coarse material but styled unlike anything known in East Anglia. Their hair was matted, their expressions were frightened but alert, and their skin was distinctly green. Not stained, not painted, green. The villagers pulled them from the pit, and from that moment forward, Woolpit would never be the same. A language no one understood. The children spoke, but no one recognized the words. It was not English, not French, not Latin, not any dialect known to traders or clergy in the region. They refused bread, they refused meat, they refused everything offered to them until someone brought fresh, broad beans. At the sight of raw beans still in their pods, the children became excited. They eagerly consumed them and would eat nothing else for days. Gradually, as time passed, the girl began to learn English. The boy, weaker from the beginning, fell ill and died shortly after their arrival. The girl survived, and eventually, she told her story. The World Without Sun. According to the chronicler William of Newburgh, who documented the event in his Historia Rerum Anglicarum, the girl explained that she and her brother came from a place called St. Martin's Land. In her homeland, she said, the sun did not shine brightly. There was no direct sunlight, only a perpetual twilight. Everything there was green, the people, the landscape, the light itself. If you've made it this far and enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free for you, but it helps us immensely to keep creating this kind of content. Thank you. They had been tending their father's cattle when they heard a loud sound like bells. Following the noise, they entered a cave. They wandered through darkness, and when they emerged, they were in a bright world of fields and sky, a place utterly foreign to them. They were in Woolpit. Recorded, not rumored. This story does not survive as mere folklore. Another respected chronicler, Ralph of Coggeshall, also recorded the account independently. Both men were serious historians of their time. They were not known for fantasy or legend writing. They documented wars, political struggles, and religious affairs, and among those entries appears this strange story, which forces us to ask, why would two separate chroniclers record such an event if it were simple rumor? On Shadows of History, we do not chase fantasy. We examine the space where documented history and unexplained phenomena quietly overlap, and this case sits precisely at that intersection. Theories through the centuries. Over the centuries, many explanations have been proposed. 1. Malnutrition. One theory suggests the children suffered from chlorosis, a form of anemia that can give skin a pale green tint. If they were foreign refugees, perhaps Flemish children displaced by conflict in East Anglia, they may have been hiding in forests or mines before emerging near Woolpit. Their strange language? Possibly a Flemish dialect unfamiliar to rural English villagers. Their diet of beans? Perhaps the only food they recognized. As they adjusted to English life and diet, the girls' green hue reportedly faded. A medical explanation, rational, grounded, but incomplete. 2. Lost in subterranean passages. Some suggest the children wandered through abandoned mining tunnels or ancient passages. England's landscape is layered with Roman ruins, forgotten shafts, and natural cave systems. Could they have emerged from underground after days in darkness? But this does not explain the language, nor their detailed description of a twilight world.
3. A symbolic medieval allegory. Some historians argue the story was symbolic, a moral or religious allegory about spiritual rebirth or the Christianization of pagan outsiders. But again, this theory struggles against the fact that both chroniclers treated the account as a real event. There is no moral attached, no sermon, no theological lesson, just documentation. 4. Something stranger. Modern interpretations, more speculative, suggest parallel worlds, dimensional crossings, even extraterrestrial origins. But such theories say more about our era than theirs. In the 12th century, villagers did not speak of aliens. They spoke of saints, demons, miracles, omens. And yet, the chroniclers offered none of those labels. They simply wrote what was reported. 2 children, green skin, an unknown land without sun. The girl's fate. As she grew older, the girl fully adapted to English society. She lost her green complexion. She learned the language fluently. Some records suggest she eventually married and lived a relatively ordinary life, from otherworldly child to medieval English woman. But one detail remains chilling. She never retracted her story. Even as an adult, she maintained that her homeland existed somewhere beyond fields, beyond caves, beyond the understood boundaries of the medieval world. A village marked by mystery. Woolpit continued on as a small agricultural settlement. The wolf pits were eventually filled. Harvests came and went. Kings rose and fell. But the story endured because it was written down, because it was preserved, because it refuses to fully resolve. On Shadows of History, we often explore events shaped by power, politics, and deliberate secrecy. This story is different. No king ordered it, no army enforced it, no state concealed it, and yet it lingers, unresolved for nearly 9 centuries. The quiet power of the unexplained. Medieval Europe was not ignorant, it was different.
Chroniclers were selective. Parchment was expensive. Ink was valuable. Writing something meant it mattered. So why record this? Why preserve it? Were the children refugees misunderstood by frightened villagers? Were they victims of famine, wandering across unfamiliar terrain? Or did they truly believe with absolute sincerity that they had crossed from another world into ours? Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is not that they came from somewhere else, but that history sometimes records events we are still not equipped to explain. And that is why stories like this endure. The Green Children of Woolpit remain one of the most curious entries in medieval English chronicles. Two figures emerging from darkness, two witnesses to a world that may have never existed, or may still. This has been Shadows of History, where the line between record and mystery is thinner than we imagine. And somewhere in the quiet fields of Suffolk, beneath centuries of plowed earth, the question remains, where did they really come from?
If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more in the future, please give us a like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and why not, write to us in the comments what other kinds of stories you'd like to see on our channel. Thank you.